Welcome everyone to another episode of the Rando Commando show, the show where we take two completely random topics, we throw our 2 cents worth in, hopefully they land right side up, have a few good laughs, and have a good fun along the way. I'm Ethanuel, this is Jonesy, let's get to it. In honor of Rogue One coming out, and also his birthday, happy early birthday!
Oh boy!
I'm gonna let Jonesy do his, instead of doing Narnia, we're gonna go delve into Jonesy's fandom, Star Wars, and delve into his top 10 lightsaber battles. This does not include just lightsaber on lightsaber battles. This is lightsaber versus gun blasters, or anytime there's a lightsaber involved. So, at this point, Jonesy, take it away.
Okay, let's start off the list. Number 10 is the fight between Kylo Ren and Rey in The Force Awakens when they're in the forest, you know. I really like this fight not only because like the colors are really cool, like it's really muted, and I like that shot style, like that's really cool. So, but the fight between Kylo and Ren, there's like a lot going on, you know, the planet's like getting all freaking out and everything, and there's just a lot going on between those two, so I don't know, I really like that because of the fact that there's a ton going on, but then the elements are still cool and they're still trying to figure out how to fight each other. Yeah, number 9 is the fight between Obi-Wan and General Grievous in episode 3.
Ooh.
It's kind of interesting. Like it's not a very long fight and it seems kind of one-sided, but it's like you haven't seen somebody wield 4 lightsabers before. No. So it's just like, whoa. When I first saw that, I was like, my mind is blown right now. I was like, oh yeah, he has 2 lightsabers, which is still, you know, like, you don't really see that. And then he's like, oh, surprise, I have 4. Then he starts spinning them and stuff, doing all these things, and it's just like, I can't believe it. What's gonna happen? And then Obi-Wan's just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and sever, no arms. Okay, bye-bye. And then you have the epic, like, bike chase with he's on the wheel bike and then the Boga's chasing him. That's also legit.
Right.
That's also super legit. So that's number 9. Number 8 is Yoda versus Count Dooku. so this one is funny because all we've seen from Yoda up to this point is him just kind of being the teacher and the mentor, and he's just kind of like, oh, you know, I'm walking with my gimmer stick. I'm old, which yeah, he's old. And so then he's just like, gimmer stick down, lightsaber out, boom, let's get it on. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be kind of a fancy duel. And then he starts freaking out, doing flips everywhere. And I'm just like, what? What is happening? I don't know about terribly believable, because when I first saw it, I was like, wait, what? But it was pretty cool to see. Okay, number 7. This one was pretty great. I probably should have ranked it a little bit higher, but the fight between Finn and TR-8R. His name is FN2199, but you know, everybody calls him Traitor.
Or Jerry.
TR-8R, or Jerry. Yeah. So when I first saw this, what made it awesome to me is that original concept art from Ralph McQuarrie had stormtroopers with a lightsaber and a shield, which was like, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And so when I saw this stormtrooper come out and he's got a shield and this like baton thing, I was like, that's like from Ralph McQuarrie art. That's so cool. And then he whips out the baton thing, and I'm just like, this is gonna be so great. I was like, you finally see a non-force wielder besides Finn, pulling out some moves and fighting a lightsaber. Like, that's what I've wanted to see so much. It's like, you know, find somebody that gets like a cortosis-laden staff or something, so it's lightsaber resistant or something, you know? And so yeah, he busts this out, and it's a super short fight, and I really wish it would have gone longer.
Right.
But I just thought it was super cool. And of course, it's spawned memes and everything since then. He's become super popular, but I want more of that, please. More of the Jerry, more Jerry, more Traitor. Yeah, that was super fantastic. Okay, number 6, Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett in Episode 2. Another instance where you have a non-force using character fighting someone with a lightsaber. There's a lot of this that made it really great. They're fighting in the rain, so it's a really cool setting. Jango's using all of his different weapons. Like, he uses his wrist launcher, like his cable and stuff, which is really cool. He uses his jetpack all the time, uses his missiles, he loses his blaster, so like all these different things. And then after that, he's just like, I don't have any of this stuff anymore. Knocks Obi-Wan's lightsaber away. He's like, I'm gonna we're gonna fist fight. And so they start pounding on each other and headbutts him at one point. I mean, it's super cool to see non-Jedi characters fighting Jedi and actually doing
right
fairly
and holding
well.
their own.
Yeah, until then, of course, Mace Windu comes and just like decapitates him. Oh, sad day. Yeah, exactly, sadness. But Mace Windu is also awesome. Okay, number 5 is Luke versus Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi. This fight is cool because there's a lot going on, not just in the lightsaber fight, but also between these two characters, as it like the rebels are in a dire situation outside of the Death Star, and like Luke has all these different emotions going back and forth between him, and then like Vader's just tripping his buttons constantly. He's like, this is going on, it's like, all your friends are gonna die, all this stuff's happening, and I don't know, there's a lot of really cool things in this fight that makes it pretty awesome to me. So not necessarily the best, aesthetically as you're watching, you're kind of like, okay, it's good, but there's like a lot of the subtext is what makes it pretty
lots
fantastic.
happening behind the scenes.
Yeah. That also brings me to the number 4 entry is Luke versus Vader in Empire Strikes Back. Ooh. This one I like a lot better because of the setting.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, he's in the carbon freezing chamber, which that is one of my favorite locations. Like, Empire is my favorite Star Wars movie anyway, but that's one of the awesome, really, really cool locations is he's in the carbon freezing chamber. There's all this gas floating around, which gives it that cool ambiance, and then the colors, the lights shine through the smoke and stuff, which is really cool. And then they get out onto the parapet in Cloud City's core, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just pretty great. And the setting, and then of course, brings up to the best line, I am your father. And it's just like, so crazy. Okay, number 3. Now we're getting into the good ones, the top 3. This one, it's rough, but I picked, trying to get all these 3 is pretty interesting. Number 3 is Darth Vader's appearance at the end of Rogue One.
Oh!
So yeah, if you haven't seen Rogue One, okay, spoilers for this then, I guess, if you haven't seen it, kind of spoilerish,
yeah.
I guess. It's epic. I would love to just sit down with anyone and watch this scene again and again and again, because it's oh man, it's just pretty great. I have a hard time putting it into words how great it is, because it sets it up as Darth Vader being this ultimate presence of evil and really of sheer power. Because he's dispatching rebels left and right, and like blocking blaster bolts with his hands, and like crushing people against the ceiling with the Force, and just like batting blaster bolts aside like it's nothing. And
I think what also makes this scene too is like the fact that like you can actually fear like what those rebels are feeling in those moments. They're like, crap, we've got to get this going, and like Vader's just coming towards them, and you're like, no matter what you do, you're not even going to slow him down. He's just going to kill you.
You're just toast. And then they're shooting him, and he pulls all of their blasters away, and they're like, well,
Vibroblade?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I can punch you in the face or something. Or punch you in the knee.
I used to be a good Sith Lord like you. Then I took a rebel
to the knee. So yeah, that's if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's pretty fantastic. Okay, number 2 is the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith on Mustafar.
Yep.
Like, a lot of people think that's the best lightsaber fight ever. I think it's really good. Mm-hmm. It's really long, but it doesn't feel like it's drawn out. Like you keep with it, and the change in location and stuff, them navigating for higher ground, it kind of, I don't know, nods more to the formal aspect of lightsaber fighting, like using the elements, using the environment, and trying to, get the higher ground and get the lower ground that actually makes sense. So a lot of that stuff is pretty cool, but I don't know, just the choreography for that fight is pretty fantastic. It's just like, that's a long fight to choreograph. It's just, there's a lot of emotion tied into that battle as well. Okay, my number 1, numero uno, is Duel of the Fates.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, a lot of people are like, the Anakin Obi-Wan fight is better. Okay, it is brilliantly choreographed, but let's be honest, Darth Maul is a fantastic character. Qui-Gon is a fantastic character. and you don't really see them, establish themselves much until you get to Duel of the Fates in episode 1, the fight where they're in the Theed reactor core. Like the music also is what just gives me goosebumps every time. It's just like, oh, this music is so fantastic. So that's my number 1 because it just it gives me goosebumps every time. I love it. It's so fantastic. And
it's one of the few fights, actually, and this is probably one of my favorite fights, is that nobody knows the other person. Like, it's like nobody talks during that fight.
Yeah,
like,
there isn't really any dialogue.
And it's just, but there's no words that needs to be said. Mm-hmm. Like, constantly, like in episode 3, you talk back and forth. Mm-hmm. It's like people know the other person, but it's like in this fight, nobody knows the other person other than I have to stop you, and that's
right.
it.
There are a lot of moments I think that also, and you just mentioned, also add to that fight is the moments of silence between characters where they're kind of Dragon Ball Z style staring each other down forever. But seriously, like it sets the mood so much that you get the sense of dread and the anticipation that's there. And then when Qui-Gon dies, and you're just like, I can't believe it. You feel what Obi-Wan feels, as his pain and his anguish kind of lash out. And I will admit, Obi-Wan actually cutting Darth Maul in half is kind of unrealistic. Because Darth Maul would just be like, done.
High ground! Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry,
exactly.
I had a cough.
Exactly. High ground episode 3. Yeah. So that's kind of a bummer, but really just, I don't know, they hadn't really encountered a Sith before, and so they're like, it's a whole new experience, really. I mean, Qui-Gon had fought him on Tatooine, but there's, I don't know, just that whole new element, and they're just like, whoa, he's trained in the Jedi arts, so it's like he knows how to fight with lightsabers and stuff, so he's more dangerous than a lot of other enemies. And yeah, this is, I don't know, as a kid especially, I watched that and I was like, my life is complete. This is so fantastic. So yeah, those are my top 10 lightsaber battles in Star Wars. I agonized over this list, and even just now I changed some up because I realized how much I liked them more than others. There's a lot more battles out there that are really fantastic, really spectacular. So if you want to see more of that, let me know, and we would be happy to chime in on a couple of those things. But thank you so much for paying attention to this, for watching this. What are some of your favorite moments? Please leave us some comments, some more ideas for the show. We love hearing from you guys. It's pretty spectacular. So that's about all of it for us. So be sure to follow us on social media as well. Check out some of our new videos. If you like this, hit the like button. Also subscribe. And look forward to new stuff coming out every week.
All right.
This is the Rando Commandos. We'll see you next time.